Hello there, my name is Yvonne and I really hope you can hear me. The audio cut out completely for the first 46 minutes the last time I did this. I will test it before I put it up, but I do really hope it's working. But I just wanted to do a review today of this piece here. I've done a review of the BlendJet 2, and I also compared it to a BlendJet, well, I shouldn't say BlendJet 1 because I don't think that's really what this is. I think this is a generic, but I will show it to you in comparison. Keep in mind that I do not have the bottle that came with the BlendJet on with it right now. This is a 32-ounce bottle that you can get from BlendJet. It's not expensive at all. I believe it was $29, but this is what basically like the BlendJet 1. It's not the BlendJet 1, this is a generic, but it's very similar to the BlendJet 1, and you can see the size difference is huge. This is only up to 12 ounces. The original container that comes with the BlendJet 2 is up to 16 ounces. I bought this for my husband, and I worried that it wasn't going to be big enough for him, so I ordered the 32-ounce jug. I am not going to actually put anything into this right now. I have kind of a hard time with cleaning this. I know it self-cleans, but one thing you have to be aware of is the gaskets. I believe the gasket on this one is on this piece. Now that this is here, there really aren't any other additional gaskets, I don't think. I think the gasket just comes here. This charges faster than the original BlendJet does, and also when it charges, it's not like a red dot. It lights around here, and I think when it's charged it goes a solid blue. But just to show you this in action, I'm just going to take this off. I'm going to unscrew it if I can. It's kind of hard for me to handle this since the bottle's so huge. It's also blinking to let me know that it's not ready. It blinks when it's not ready. It also blinks if you don't have the arrows aligned. On the BlendJet 2, there's an arrow on the back. I don't know if you can really see that. Maybe you can. There's an arrow on that. There is an arrow on this as well. The arrow's down underneath the measures. So the measures are on the back of the bottle. And at the very bottom is an arrow that you have to line up with this one. So let me just put some water into this for now. I don't want to mess this up. So I'm just going to put some water into this. That would probably help if I put it on the BlendJet 2 so that it didn't just go into nothing. That's what the gasket's good for, by the way. If you pour liquid into this and there's no gasket in this, it will leak out of the bottle, the bottom of the container. So you need the gaskets. The gaskets are extremely important. I'm just putting some water in. I'm not going to put in a lot. You can put in ice, juice, vegetables, anything you want, basically. I think I've even seen people use their BlendJets to blend things like walnuts, things like that. It's pretty heavy duty for such a tiny little blender. It's very heavy duty. It's pretty amazing. So I'm just going to turn this on. With the BlendJet 1, I think you have to double click to get it to go on, but with the BlendJet 2, you just need to press once and it'll work. And you can either shut it off or you can wait for this to just stop on its own. It will stop on its own. I'm actually going to shut it off for the sake of time. For the sake of time, I'm just going to shut it off. But it's lovely. It's self-cleaning even with this big bottle. The lid screws up on the top. So let me just back this up so you guys can see. The lid just comes off, just screws right off. And to clean this up, if this was anything other than water, I would just put in hot water and soap up to about this level probably. And then you just start it while the soap's in it and it self-cleans. But don't forget, you need to clean the gasket. Like I said, I believe there's a gasket on this piece. You need to take the gasket out and clean it. But when you take it out, be really careful. I don't use my fingers for the BlendJet 1, just as an example. This is the I should stop saying BlendJet. I should just say generic. You have to be careful because the blades are really sharp, and they're really sharp here too. But you want to put the gasket in, and you can either place it in with your fingers. On the BlendJet 1, I do use my fingers. On the 2, to be honest, though, I might use a fork to press it in place all the way around just so that I don't accidentally stab myself with the blades of the BlendJet. And then to take this out, you can use a fork. If you don't want to hurt your fingers, you can use a fork to pry this out that way. And that way you can take out the gasket and you can rinse out anything that might be underneath it. Same thing on this. So I really do hope that that was helpful. I hope that was helpful for anyone who's thinking about getting the BlendJet 2. And if you're thinking of getting this 32-ounce container, I wholeheartedly recommend it. It's so much better and it solves the problem of this just not being big enough, especially if you're a smoothie fan like I am. So once again, this is the review of the 32-ounce bottle for the BlendJet. Hope that was helpful, and I hope you were able to hear me this time. Take care. Cheers. Be well.